Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and I wanted to talk a little bit about something that popped up in my newsfeed. I was browsing Facebook earlier today, and I came across this post from a newer company called Feel VR, and they were advertising a direct drive wheel plus pedal set for under $400. Yes, you heard me right. Direct drive wheel plus a 3-pedal set with a load cell brake for $388. Naturally, as a sim racer that's interested in high-end hardware, I wanted to take a closer look, so I decided to look into this, and I wanted to make a quick video talking about my opinion, as well as whether I think this might be too good to be true. Now, be forewarned, I have no insider information. I know as much as any of you. I have not gotten into contact with Feel VR yet. I have shot a message to them to see if they would respond and talk to me about it, but for now, I do not know any more information than the next guy. So this is just going to be speculation on my end and just my opinion. So first off, I wanted to share a little bit of what I found out about Feel VR. From what I found, Feel VR was started by a man named Den Krutko and his friends, and they are from Ukraine. I noticed on their website there are a few instances of broken English, so them being from Ukraine, I think I'm able to forgive them on that. One other thing I noticed is that in the Facebook comments, he mentioned that they have a warehouse in New Jersey. So it's not like they're actually going to be shipping exclusively from the Ukraine. It sounds like they have multiple warehouses that they'll be able to ship from, as well as them having a United States presence. One other thing that's slightly strange, though, is that Feel VR, their main information on their Facebook page is in regards to an affordable motion cockpit. However, if you go to the Feel VR website, you find no mention whatsoever of that cockpit. So I'm wondering if that cockpit's still in development, or if it's just being given up in favor of the wheel, or whatever it's going to be. However, if you go to the website, you'll find no mention of the cockpit. If you go to Facebook page, you'll find information about him. Kind of weird, if you ask me. So now that we've talked a little bit about the company and the background, let's talk about this wheel. If you go to feelvr.game, you will also see a link below in the description. You will be greeted front and center by this direct drive wheel. And this is an interesting one because most direct drive wheels are the motor. There's no enclosure around it. The SimXperience ActiveForce might be the lone exception. However, you can see there is this metal enclosure around it, sort of shrouding the motor in mystery. So you are looking at this, and also you see the rim. And I know which rim this is because I actually own one. This is what also Sam Maxwell uses for his eBay wheel. I have it currently with a T500 adapter, and it's a PVC leather wheel. There's a little bit of flex in it, but I think this would actually work decently with a direct drive wheel. And you can see on the wheel itself, they have developed their own button box. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 buttons on it, as well as paddle shifters. And later on, you'll see there is a ring quick release system on it. Some people prefer that over others. I tend to prefer a slip quick release, but I think the ring quick release would at least work for this. So that is basically what you see on this direct drive wheel. And it's direct drive, make a difference. Next generation driving simulation wheel. Be the first to experience Feel VR wheel. So I guess they're just calling it the Feel VR wheel. Join others and pre-order now to be one of the first to experience. Feature with direct drive. And you can enter your email and join a mailing list. I noticed that pre-orders are not available right now, but I think they are opening up in early January. So you look here, there's an image of him driving with the wheel with an Oculus Rift. So he's driving at a desk. Interesting. So I'm going to assume that this is not an overly strong direct drive wheel. So most direct drive wheels we're seeing, start at around 13 newton meters of torque, and then they will go up to about 25, even 30 newton meters of torque in some instances. I'm going to wager this might be in the sub 10. This might be one of the first direct drive wheels we'll see below 10 newton meters of torque. And it's interesting because we're not able to really see how this is mounted. I'm going to assume this is hard mounted to the desk because I'm not seeing any clamp or anything like that. But yeah, so I'm hoping this is a real shot, not like a scripted stock shot. But at the very least, we're kind of seeing it in action. Become a professional with direct drive technology. This type of steering wheel uses a servo motor which is attached directly to the steering wheel. No gear, no belt. The wheel is connected directly to the motor shaft. These motors have high torque and speed with almost perfect linearity and very low inertia. And then you see a top shot, and I find this interesting. This has a very Razor-esque construction to it. What I mean is there's the RGB light at the back. You see the logo front and center at top. And it's an interesting construction. I think that would be an acquired taste for some. I think it's almost a little gaudy in my opinion. But at the very least, we also get to see the quick release. So there's the shaft. There is the ring where you have the quick release. And then here is a Formula rim. This one only has 6 buttons, which is interesting. Kind of low for a Formula rim if you ask me, compared to 10 on the GT rim. But albeit, that should be interesting. Another thing I want to touch on is look at the back. You see that connector right there. Now, a lot of the direct drive wheels, they actually use an external box. And that external box has all of the electronics, all of the components, almost like a mini computer to power the, to tell what the direct drive wheel is supposed to do. So I don't know if this has an external box. There's no mention of it whatsoever on the website, which is kind of strange. Or this could be the power supply and that's a USB cable. It's one or the other, but it's interesting that we don't really have mention. So here are the prices, what a lot of you have been waiting for. So this is the wheel by itself. So it includes the GT rim and the base. The early bird special is $333. That's the price of a Thrustmaster T300 RS most of the time for supposedly a direct drive wheel. That's pretty remarkable if you ask me, especially if they pull this thing off. So yeah, the Feel VR wheel, $333. Here is our first look at the pedals. Ultra realistic load cell pedals, $99. Jeez. I'm going to assume that the gas and clutch use a potentiometer system. It looks like the clutch has its own digressive system too, which could be interesting. But we don't have any information on what the load cell for the brake's going to be. We don't know how many kilograms it can support. But this looks pretty decently built together, if you ask me. Then there's the bundle. So this is the wheel base, the GT rim, the Formula rim, and the pedals. So it includes everything you need, apparently. And also we find something interesting. The base, it doesn't say anything about the power supply. Scroll down, a 360 watt power supply. That's a pretty healthy amount for this, I think. So it at least is going to have some power, I think. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be as powerful as any of the open sim wheels, sim experience, sim steering, and so on. I think this is going to be a beginner tier setup, albeit it's going to be much smoother, maybe quicker than anything else that we've seen so far. And now let's get on to some of the tech specs. So we see that the wheel, The weight with the power source is 12 kilograms. That is approximately, I think, half of the weight of the midge motor that is used in open sim wheels. So this is a significantly lighter motor than we've seen in other direct drive wheels, which could be a good thing, but I think it's going to imply that this is a less powerful motor. Again, I'm going to say I will be very surprised if it is stronger than 10 Newton meters of torque. And then we look at the pedal set, 6 kilograms, 13.2 pounds. I believe that's roughly the same weight as the Fanatic Club Sport pedals. And it looks like it's roughly similar dimensions. Another thing to mention is this is the upright. I don't know if these will be able to be reclined further, but it looks like these should be able to fit in most cockpits, hopefully. So, yeah, those are the wheel and pedals. Technical specs, we see nothing regarding torque. We see infinite rotation. So, theoretically, you can set the rotation to anything you want. Precise sensor, we don't have the ppm on it, but we at least know that it's going to be very precise. And then, as mentioned, the pedals use a load cell brake. Nothing really talking about what the gas and clutch use. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it is likely going to be a potentiometer-based gas and clutch. That's my speculation. That's my guess. Shipping date. Pre-order is January 2018. They're going to ship out in May. So that's actually, all things considered, from announcement to pre-order to release, that's pretty decent. I wish there was more information. I wish there was more information about this wheel, more information about the pedals. I think torque is going to be a big spec that we need to know ASAP. We need to know how much pressure the load cell is going to take. I think those are the two things I want to see most from Feel VR. So, yeah, apparently it's also going to work for Windows 10, 8.1, 8, and Windows 7, which is nice. It's going to use a switchable power supply. That's good. Supported games: Settle Corsa, iRacing, Project Cars 1-2, R-Factor 1-2, Dirt Rally, Dirt 3 and Up, Euro Truck Simulator, ATS, Shift 2 Unleashed. So I'm guessing it's going to work with most racing titles available. I think it will also work for Automobilista, Race Room, and other titles that aren't mentioned on the list. So I think, my opinion on this, I think that this could be for real. If you factor in the cost of production, if they're able to truly get lower prices for production, if they're able to buy wholesale, if they're able to put it together inexpensively, I could reasonably see a 6, 8, or even 10 Newton meter direct drive wheel being under $400. I am a little skeptical though, because there are still some specs that need to be addressed. We need to know what torque this is. We need to know what pressure the load cell is going to be. And I think once those specs come to light, I would be much more comfortable placing a pre-order. However, seeing a direct drive package under $400 with pedals, I'm pretty impressed. So I'm excited about this. What do you guys think about this wheel and pedal set? Do you think this is for real? Are you considering pre-ordering it in January? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button and help keep us on track. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a great rest of your day.